All right, we're just going to fucking try it. All right, here we go. We're going to go live. Ready? Well, we got a couple minutes before 6 o'clock. So once we get everything ready, we'll start the show. And hopefully the video catches up. You are still froze. Okay.
Closing out every single program I have.
Hopefully the video catches up. You are still froze.
Okay.
How about now? No, there's like a 10-second delay, so yeah, wait for it. Nothing?
Oh, now I can hear you. There it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to bring... That's what they do, these fuckers. See, I can't even see it, so... Haha! You got fucking... There we go. Here, I'm going to put... No, yeah, Skype. What the fuck? Xbox? Oh my god, dude. You're not even fucking in my box anymore. Nothing's there. Disregard. Say, no, we don't want that. Remove. Remove. All right. That's it. Fuck it. All right. Hold on. So window capture. No. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to get you in here. You go to window capture, right? I mean, that's how we did it. I mean, that's how we did earlier. But yours does not come up. My Skype. Yeah, I mean, I've got my Skype. It says my Skype, Travis Jones 502, but no, that's what I get right there. So that's not the box I want. I'm gonna show you exactly what I got. That's what I got. There you are, right there. Single window view. How about that? We were so much better earlier. Yeah, not really. Yeah, but see, it's there. We go. How about that? No shit. I said whiskey. Oh no, I'm gonna bring up your what's call it real quick. So there's audio in the live feed, but just a delay, right? You can hear you. Okay. That's a fucking problem, Casey. Okay. All right. Let's try. How about now? You say something now. I think your video should come through.
Oh, I'm saying things, and we're testing. No, nothing.
Hold on. You got a way bigger lag than that. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nothing now.
Oh, I can hear me now.
There
okay,
you
great.
go. Like I said, we got huge lag.
That's it. That is a ridiculous amount of lag.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right.
So we're good. We're ready to go. Ready to get started.
So. I think we're ready to get fucking started.
Let's do it. All right. I'm muting the. I'm gonna mute the Facebook Live, and you and me will get to talking.
Okay.
All right.
Now you can still see the comments.
Yeah, I can see him.
Okay, great.
Your lovely wife has joined us.
Oh, my lovely wife. She is very pretty. Very pretty. All right, hold on one absolute second. Here. Okay. We're going to go this route. All right. Mike Woodard, this recording is going to go out to you somehow, some way. I'm going to get it to you. What Mike will do, Casey, is he'll pull video off. He'll pull audio off the video, and he'll work his magic. He'll try to make it as.
If you want, I could record all my stuff just locally.
You can record your end?
Yeah, would that be easier?
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, let me do that. All right, I just got to get Audacity fired up real quick.
Okay, sure.
Blue Snowball mic, good. All right, I'm recording now, and I'm ready to go.
You beat me to it, damn it.
I sure did. That's me. Should probably turn my fan off. We're professionals here.
Ah! Okay, so it's not cool. Okay. Yeah, real professional. Yeah, we're super professional. Okay.
Ha! Your wife said y'all. That's so adorably southern. Does she have like a rogue kind of an accent? Is it like super adorable?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so she's like, "Oh, Travis, I do declare you are the most muscly man on the internet."
She's not that adorable now. She knows Southern Belle. Let's put it that way. No, she is that adorable. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I don't think that we have a huge accent. I know when I speak to other people, they're like, "Oh my God, where the fuck are you from?"
Well, you're
And,
born and raised Kentucky, I'm
absolutely,
guessing, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. Oh, she's sending me a text. I probably should shut the fuck up.
Uh-oh.
Nah, I'm just kidding. All right.
No, I think I'm frozen in the feed again.
Oh, imagine that. You're being frozen in the feed.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to do about that, man.
As long as they can hear me.
Yeah, let's ask them. Can when Casey's frozen, can you guys still hear him? And that should be about a 40-minute delay, and we'll get on that.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's still a good picture of me.
Yeah.
I'm finding myself to be more and more photogenic the more the video fails.
It's what I'm seeing is you're like looking at my box going, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
What is this guy doing, and how do I get a way cool backdrop?
All right. Man, I really want to be able to use OBS. I really do. So we're just gonna have to.
Hey, let me try turning the flicker on and off and see if that did anything.
I mean, my CPU is running at 30%. I mean, I'm not taking no power. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah. All right. So look, as long as they can still hear me, I don't need to be.
So have they said they can hear you yet?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Okay, great, awesome. All right, cool. All right, let me get my Reaper.
This is all a grand experiment. The next time I guest star, we'll have all the kinks really hammered out.
Yeah. Yes, it is a grand experiment.
Yeah.
And what's funny is all my shit is just froze. Like I can't even get back to my Reaper. All right. Mike, I would send you a marker, but I fucking can't.
Yeah.
Are you froze too, Case?
No, well, I mean, I look frozen, but I'm good.
I mean, my
otherwise.
computer screen is frozen. Like I can't get back to anything. There we go. Okay.
Dude, are you sure it's only 30%?
I swear. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what OBS is telling me. 19%. My CPU's running at 19.5%.
Oh, it's a smooth ace of that one.
This is a gaming rig. I mean, I PC game on this thing. This should be fucking nothing doing this.
Let's get it sufficient for your basic level of streaming. All right.
Mike. All right, this is Trav. As you probably heard, me and Casey are running OBS, and it's been an experiment, let me tell you, but it sounds like the audio's fine. He's recording on his end. I'm recording on mine. We're going to give it to you, and you can smash it together. But we're getting ready to start the report. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to another, not just any episode of the Blazing Defender Report, but number 50. It is going to be a giant-sized team-up with me, and I have a very special guest that I'm going to introduce in just a second. But I want to thank everyone that's in the live stream right now on Facebook Live. Bear with us, guys. We're using OBS for the first time. We tested it earlier today. It ran fine, but now it's giving us fucking hiccups. But supposedly the audio sounds great, so we're going to get on with it. Who is the Blazing Defender Report? The Blazing Defender Report is me, Travis Jones, your host, trying to defend you from making some bad purchases at your local comic book shop. That is my goal, guys. I buy comic books every week, and I come on this show and I tell you what was good, what was bad, what you might be interested in, even though I may not like it, but you might. But thank you, everybody, for joining in today. Bear with us on our technical problems. Like I said, the audio should be good. And basically, that's what you listen to a podcast for, right? All right, guys. I have a very, very special guest with me today. You know him as TV's Casey from the Bad Coyote Funky podcast and a prospective member of the Breaking the Panel podcast on the Giant Size Team Up Network. Everyone give a huge round of applause, a Blazing Defender welcome to Casey Stroz. How the hell are you, Casey?
I'm doing fine, my man. You know, I heard that the Blazing Defender was looking for a sidekick for his 50th anniversary issue, and I decided, hey, what can show up? Let's do it.
Who is
Let's talk some
Cap
comics.
without Bucky, right?
Right? Exactly.
Everybody's got to have a sidekick. No, man, you're no sidekick. You are very much a co-host today. Casey has been reading comics all day like I have. We were supposed to do this show last week. Because of schedules, OBS, let's just be fucking honest, OBS technical difficulties. We couldn't do it last week. There was some really good stuff last week.
Yeah.
But there's some really great stuff today as well. Casey and I are going to take you through the week, what we thought was great, what we thought sucked. Maybe we agree, maybe we don't. We haven't even really talked about that. So we're going to both find out on the air live right now. But first of all, I do want to say that I am a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network. 4 shows on the network were nominated for podcasting awards this year. So if you like nerd-related anything, gaming, comic books, movies, Giant Size Team Up is your one-stop shop for all those shows. If you like this show, you're going to love those shows. If you don't like this show, you're still going to love those shows. Those are some really good shows, some really great hosts on those shows. Please check those guys out. And also I want to say that I'm a proud partner with Collector Zone for all your collecting needs. NECA, Funko Pops. And you know what's cool about Collector Zone, Casey?
What's cool about is it that you're totally going to add a sweet guitar riff in post every time you say Collector Zone?
Hey, Mike Woodard, you're getting this. Casey just came up with a fantastic idea. Every time I say Collector Zone, meow, meow, big metal riff in the background. Hey, actually, if you listen to the iTunes version of the show, every time I do Pick of the Week, he's got like this, it's this stinger in the background. It's like this metal growl. It goes, Pick of the Week. And it's got this metal tune in the background. It's so awesome.
All right, so tell me, what's the best thing about Collector Zone?
The best thing about Collector Zone is you yourself can email, Facebook message, Facebook in the Collector Zone Cantina, any of the owners, and they will take care of the problem personally. And if you want them to find a collectible for you, they will do that for you. They've done it for me. And I've seen several members in the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook where they do that for everyone. So that's a very, very cool aspect of their company that you can't get a lot of places. They make a lot of people happy. I have bought stuff from them, and I am a proud partner with these guys. And just for people listening, just for you guys, go to collectorzone.com, use the code word CONTRAVIS, and save 15% off your total order. That's CONTRAVIS, C-O-N, like I'm a con man. We're going to do something about this code. It was actually the Dragon Con code that we used that we're still using right now. So CONTRAVIS, collectorzone.com, get 15% off your total order. Check those guys out today. The next sponsor I want to give a big shout out to is Black Rifle Coffee. I don't have a new code for them. I still have last month's, which is no good for you now because we're in October. But you hit me up anytime you want to try Black Rifle Coffee. You give me a shout out. I will get you a coupon code to try those guys. It is excellent coffee. Murdered Out is my favorite. I have to say that. Let's see. Oh, and the newest sponsor of the Blazing Defender Report, The Zone Comic Shop in Louisville, Kentucky. If you are listening and you're in Louisville, Kentucky, check out The Zone on her lane. They have a new shop there. Dan's shop looks amazing. He's got action figures. He's got a wall with the store picks and everything with a Blazing Defender Pick of the Week soon to be coming to his comic wall. So please check out Dan. Dan is the biggest nerd out of everybody here. Everybody listening, everybody watching, Dan's the biggest nerd there is. And he knows his material. He knows his stuff. And if you need a book, he's going to find it for you. Have you read Shirtless Bear Fighter, Casey?
I have not, but I've seen it on the shelves and I've been looking at it and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
what is
Oh my God.
this?
Shirtless bear fighter. It is the perfect combination of crazy, great, funny, great action, great artwork. I love it. It's one of my favorite titles of the year. There was a cover B. It was a variant cover that came out last week. My comic shop, the other comic shop I used to go to, was already sold out of it. I called Dan. Dan was like, I'm going to find it for you. And he did. I mean, this thing was going for like $25 on eBay already. So thank you, Dan, so much for finding it for me. Check out The Zone on Her Lane if you're in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. Have you ever been to a comic convention, Casey?
Heck yeah, I'm going to one tomorrow.
I know. That's so. I'll tell everybody where you're going.
New York Comic Con.
Shut up, man. That is so awesome. That's
It's like the second biggest in the whole country or something.
I would say it's right up there with Chicago. Is it as big as Dragon Con?
You know, I've heard different things about Dragon Con where like the whole city kind of gets in on it.
Oh my God.
Like there's so much stuff off site. I know they're doing a lot of construction in the Javits Center this year, so they have a lot of stuff that's like off site in other halls, but this is really the only one I've been to. I've been along the smaller convention circuit around Connecticut, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Con's like, I mean, it's literally like 6 blocks of the city. It's
That's crazy.
4 hotels. Oh, it's ridiculous. Like I couldn't even imagine San Diego because Dragon Con was so big. But I've always heard New York and Chicago are huge cons in themselves. Tell everyone, because you're going in costume too, is that right?
That's right.
Tell everybody what you're going as.
I'm going as everyone's favorite X-Man, Rogue.
I love it. The gender swap, man.
The gender swap Rogue.
How you
It's
pulling
good
that
stuff.
off?
Well, I put the costume together. I bought 2 spandex bodysuits. Living in Queens, I got like a million tailors near me. So I sent it to them and I'm like, listen, I need you to make this. And they're like, well, it's for a girl. And I go, just imagine I'm a very big girl. Okay. All right. You know, do me a little favor in like the seat, you know, it doesn't have to be so super tight.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've had the jacket for years. As soon as I've had like a leather bomber jacket with, you know, Xavier Institute patches on the shoulders for like 6 years now. And I'm like, well, that's already half the outfit. That's like the most recognizable thing that she's rocking in the night.
That's right.
So I did that. I bought some booties off of Etsy that looked perfect, and I just kind of put it all together.
Oh my God. But the coup de grace, the trademark, what are you doing?
The southern accent?
No.
Oh yeah, right. I'm doing hairspray over the top, right? But I'm also doing it down the middle in the beard.
Oh man, that's fucking perfect, man.
Yeah.
You've got to send me pics so I can post on the website.
Oh heck
Of your
yeah.
outfit, man. Because you're gonna, dude. I'm telling you what. If you go in something like that, you're gonna spend a whole day just taking fucking pictures with people.
I hope. I mean, I've seen a couple of male rogues in the past, but like,
Oh, really?
I'm not saying mine has got a huge attention to detail or anything. I've never seen one in New York,
Okay.
so I'm hoping I could be the lone male rogue, and I know how many female gambits are out there.
Oh my God.
So you know, call me.
Dude, that's going to be I'm so excited for you, man. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't go to New York a couple weekends ago, but I did go to Cincinnati Comic Con. Cincinnati Comic Con is usually a pretty big con. It's nothing compared to the Big Four.
Right.
You know, San Diego, New York, Chicago, and we'll say Dragon Con's Big Four.
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to that, but it is in a huge convention center, and they usually bring really cool people. And what made it this year so cool for me and my co-host on the Meatheads on Movies show, Big Sam, is we got to meet and talk to Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, 2 of my favorite comic book creators on Batman. This lithograph right here that I got, you can't really see the signatures down there on the bottom, but they both signed it. We got that for doing the Snyder Capullo experience is what they call it. Basically, we got to do a panel with them They told some stories. We asked some questions, and then they signed 5 of our things. And then we got to talk to them again and do a picture op, which was really cool. So we could have met them at the con, but I mean, dude, their line, because they started getting in line before we left for the day, and it was ridiculous. Like, there's no way in hell I'd have waited in that line. Jim Lee's line wasn't as long as their line was at Dragon Con.
Yeah, well, when's the last time you saw Jim Lee do interiors on a book, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he's like a big deal executive in charge over at DC, so I don't blame him. But
right.
At least Jeff Johns is writing books.
Yeah. Jeff still writes the books. But what was cool about Scott and them was this Batman metal, the Dark Knights, which me and you were going to talk about. Last week's and this week's books. But I kind of got it inside on where these stories came from Scott. And, like, these are something that he's been wanting to do for a long time, and how he got Greg on board. And let me just say, I have to say this just for full disclosure, full transparency on Greg Capullo. I follow Greg on Twitter. Greg's a fellow New Yorker like my man Casey here.
Yeah, boy.
He can be a little... as a
brusque, gruff.
Yes, very gruff. As a Southern would say, a little northerner. Like, he's just, I don't know. I thought he was going to be a dick. Just, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. I thought he was going to be a dickhead. He was not at all. The dude was great. Him and Scott both were very gracious. And he was funny. Oh, my God. He was telling these stories. And it was just a fantastic experience all around. And let me just say, like, Scott Snyder, because I've read a lot of Scott's stuff over the years. And Scott, how should I say this? Scott he's had some pain, man. Like, he's been through some stuff, and he went through a phase in his career where people getting on the internet and saying shit about what he was doing on Swamp Thing or whatever he was doing. And, like, if they didn't like it, Scott had a hard time dealing with it. And this, out of his mouth, he said he would go to cons, do panels, drink a little too much, and lash out at some fans.
Oh, man.
I know. I looked at Sam, and Sam looked at me, and we're like, holy shit, that would have been the panel to be at. Oh, my God.
Scott Snyder getting wet, just whipping the fans.
I know. I'm like, what the hell? So, but anyway, what was really cool was when he kind of went through all that, and then Greg Capullo told him that he liked working with Todd McFarlane out of everybody. Like, that's his favorite.
Way to throw him under the bus.
Right. Oh, it's like, we thought it was a joke, like, because he was like, he gets so fucking mad when I say this to him. And he's like grabbing his shoulders and shit. And Scott's kind of like, yeah, I did. And we thought, oh, it's a joke. No, he was really upset. And he went back to it even. And he was like, yeah, I was really hurt when Greg said that. And he never really elaborated, but he said he was going to go hang off a building. Like, this was like, I don't know if he was bunging or what he was doing. It wasn't like, I'm going to go hang off a building and kill myself. But he was like, I was literally about to go hang off the side of a building, and Greg tells me this, and I said, you motherfucker, if I die hanging off the side of this building, you're going to feel really bad you said that about me. and Greg was like laughing the whole time, like, ha, yeah, I probably would have, But this I thought was really cool. I know I'm getting on a tangent, but I had such a good time with these guys.
No, man, every time you get to, meet, to guys like you and me, these guys are like our heroes. They're the real deal.
Yes.
And that's the main difference. Like, I remember, I met, the first time I ever met a comic creator was in 2006. I met Riley Brown at, like, a small, almost podcast kind of small signing when he was still working on Cable and Deadpool. And he's, like, not a big deal at the time. He was, like, a no-name artist. Like, this was, like, his first main gig that I had ever seen. And I was shaking like a leaf. You know, I was like, I can't believe like the guy who makes my favorite comic right now is standing right in front of me. You know, and I was like 16, but you know, you're a grown ass man, and you're still wowed by these just these two regular guys just making a living doing something awesome.
Right. And I felt when we were in line, because I was like in the second row, so I was like, Sam and I were probably like the 20th people to meet him. Like,
hey, you with the muscles down in front.
Right, yeah, like, get the fuck out of the way. What are y'all doing here? You security? You ain't getting shit signed. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And like I said, Sam's 6'3", 270. I'm 5'11", 245. So, I mean, Sam's just a much bigger guy than me, but neither one of us are small. So when we finally got up to Scott and Greg, and like I said, Greg being a New Yorker, he kind of considers himself kind of a tough guy. Because, you know, he was telling us about his fights he's gotten in and everything, which was still a great story. Yeah. So when I got up to Scott, you know, I felt like Scott kind of let us in a little bit to his pain. And I just felt compelled to tell him, and no one was really talking to him. I mean, these motherfuckers are, you know, got their comic books and their toys and shit to sign, which Sam and I did too, trust me. But
could you make it out to eBay? Thanks.
No. Hell no. I ain't selling none of this shit,
no.
Man. My shit, I don't.
Keeping it forever.
All of it. Yes, I hoard all of it.
Yeah, boy.
When I die, my wife can sell it all, but no, I'm keeping all of it. So when we get up to Scott, you know, Sam was talking to the guy behind him, and when we got to Scott Snyder, you know, he was like, "Oh, hey man, thanks for waiting." And I'm like, "No, man, I've been waiting months for this. What's a couple minutes?" And I said, "Look, man, I heard what you said about people on the internet, you know, like giving you a hard way." I was like, "Let me just tell you, for me and this guy behind me, you two guys are the definitive Batman creative team ever." And,
wow.
And I looked at Capullo and went, Jim Lee's like my favorite artist. And Greg was like,
"Oh, way to go."
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'm being honest. You know, like, Jim Lee's my favorite artist, but you two guys are my favorite team on Batman of all time.
Yeah.
And Scott Snyder, like, he stood up. He stood up and shook my hand. And he was like, "Man, thank you so much." And Greg Pulo's like, "Where's my fucking wife at? Where's my wife at? She needs to hear this shit. She don't ever hear shit like this." And then, you know, then Sam came in and Sam was like, "Yeah, man, you know, you guys are our favorite," and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Greg even said they don't hear that. Like, we know everybody in this room paid money for this experience. So we know we think you like what we do because you did that. But, like, when people come up here, they don't tell us that. And I thought that was, like, the strangest thing. I guess it's people consider it implied because I paid, you know, $75 for this ticket for this experience.
Yeah.
But no one says it to him. And when Scott got up out of his seat to shake my hand, I was like, "Oh, shit." You know, like, just the look on his face. I mean, it was just really cool experience. And when we were waiting for the picture op, because we were first in line for the picture op, like, they wanted to keep talking to us. Like, Greg wanted to talk about working out. You know,
dude,
I was
just
trying to
be like, "Hey man, can I buy you a beer? Let's like, you know, when this is over, let's hang out."
I don't know why. You know, this is what I was thinking, because I'm always like, I try to be like really conscious about like, I don't know, like being
overstepping
rude to
your
people.
boundaries.
Yes. Well, and like we had a ton of people behind us, and they were all waiting for a picture too. But like, you know, Greg and Scott were wanting to talk, and we had already taken the picture, and you know, Scott, I was trying to get out of Scott what his secret project was, and I had some questions about Baby Darkseid, like, how the fuck did Batman get Baby Darkseid? Like, you know, I mean, we're going to talk about all that in metal, but yeah, so, and then I was like, "Oh man, we got to get the fuck out of here," you know, and then finally they were like, "Great," and you know, Greg and I, we still chat back and forth on Twitter, and you know, he seems like he remembers me and stuff. So anyway, really cool experience. Long story short, the moral of this story is, because I know I have a lot of fans that, you know, they dabble in comic books, but, you know, going to the conventions way outside their realm. Go to a fucking convention, especially if you're in Louisville, Kentucky. We have a lot of small conventions. I don't know if New York does. I don't think New York does anything small.
There are a few. I don't know if like Big Apple Con is still happening or if that got bought out by Wizard World, but I've gone to a couple of small ones.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and if you've been to a small cons are very intimate. Now you don't get
Small
the big
cons are the
names.
best. Small cons are like
cons
the only
best.
place you can get a commission these days.
Oh,
if you're
yeah,
trying to
like
get
a commission
artwork.
art. Yes. What he means is like Greg Capullo. Like when he was first starting, he probably did small cons. You could walk up to him and say, "Hey, Greg, will you sketch a cover for me?" They have these comics called convention covers, and there's like a white poster board cover that makes it real easy to sketch on. You can buy those and take them up to or anything. It doesn't even have to be a cover of a comic book.
Yeah.
But you can give them something and ask them to sketch it. And what he's saying is you can commission them to do an art piece. And it's when you get them at small cons, they're a hell of a lot cheaper than at big cons. Trust me.
Yeah.
So if you're ever, if you have a kid, take them. There's usually some cosplayers. There's always cosplayers, always. And it's just a lot of fun. And like Casey said, small cons are the best. All right. That's my Cincinnati story. We're going to have Casey back on to tell us about his New York experience because I'm very excited for him to go, and I want to hear about it. I wish I could fucking meet him up there. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh, my God. Well, we're going to do it. Casey, I'll be honest. I didn't know you were a New Yorker.
Oh, really?
Had no idea.
Where'd you think I hailed from?
I had no fucking clue. I don't care. I mean, honestly, when I say I don't care, I mean, like, I think it's,
Listen, a fan's a fan, no matter where you are. I could have been from Alaska for all you cared.
That's fucking right. I mean, I really, like, I don't say, like, I don't care, like, I don't give a fuck where you're from. It's not that. I'm not Greg Capullo on you. But no, like, I think it's awesome. Like, I don't know anybody in New York other than Paul Klotz, which, Paul's upstate New Yorker. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that till I went to Atlanta. Like, I thought all these guys were from Atlanta. And then I found out that Paul and Charles had never met till Dragon Con this year, and they've worked together for fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But, yes, trust me, man, I'm coming to New York because I've never been. I want to go. I want to see the 9/11 monument. I want to come. I'm going to come. And
well, you can't. Here's my advice. You can't do it in a day.
Oh, no. Trust me. No. We're gonna come up for a week and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna see shit, and so it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so all right, man, we got to get to these comic books, or we're gonna be running real late.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So all right, Casey and I discussed this beforehand. A lot of great shit last week. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick 2 books from last week, and we're just gonna briefly talk about them, why they were awesome to us. And Casey, take it away, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna open this one up big time with Marvel Legacy.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's the big one coming out of Marvel this week. Those of you, whether you're in the loop or not, Marvel's been putting out a bunch of these like generation one-shots featuring like the old version of a character and the new version. So you got your classic Cap and your Sam Wilson Cap. You've got your Jane Foster Thor, your Thor Odinson. Teenage old school Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, and like a crazy time travel team up kind of adventure. That's all fallen out of Secret Empire and whatnot. But what Legacy is, and the way it's affecting all the numbering and stuff, it's probably the closest equivalent I can think of to DC Rebirth.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Now, Marvel and DC have been kind of like aping each other, event-wise for years.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think this one is one of the bigger examples of, all right, DC really beat us at our own game. How are we going to step it up?
Right, yes. I would totally agree. DC Rebirth, by the way, DC Rebirth number 0 with Wally West on the cover is the only number 10, the only comic I've ever gave a perfect score to.
Really?
Yeah, that is the best single contained issue that I've ever read. I didn't even know. I really don't even know who the fuck Wally West is. I know he's a Flash, but I really am not. I don't know a lot about the Flashes per se.
Barry's your Flash for what it's worth.
Barry Allen's my Flash. Yeah, he's the one I know. But This story, I mean, it tugged on emotions. It was just a single contained story. It let you know everything you needed to know going into a big event, which is a very fucking hard thing to do. But so, what did you think about Legacy #1?
So I love Legacy. I think it opens up a lot of avenues, but it's nowhere near as new reader friendly as DC Rebirth was.
I agree.
Yeah, like this starts out with the Avengers of 1,000,000 BC, which is Odin with Mjolnir. We've got a Ghost Rider riding a woolly mammoth, a Lady Iron Fist, another Phoenix, maybe the first Black Panther.
Yeah.
And is it Agamotto?
Yes.
The sorcerer?
Agamotto.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're fighting a Celestial.
Yeah, which is
that they not only managed to beat, which is kind of amazing. Oh, and the Starbrand. It's like a prehistoric
Starbrand, yes.
a prehistoric guy with the Starbrand. And they fight a Celestial and they manage to put it under the ground. But it jumps back between the super past and the present. You've got the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider fighting the modern Starbrand.
Yes.
Yeah, who showed up in Hickman's Avengers. Yes. Who's originally from the new universe. There's a lot of confusing stuff about Starbrand.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, he's kind of like just imagine he's kind of like Quasar. I mean, his logo looks exactly the same.
Exactly.
So we get to see this Ghost Rider do the penance stare for the first time, which is something that he wasn't quite sure that he could do. We've got Loki going after some kind of prize that we later find out is one of the Infinity Gems. So those are being gathered once more. We've got a team up of the Legacy trio of Avengers with Ironheart, Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Jane Foster, Thor. Just like previews by all the different creative teams.
Yeah, and the star here for me is the Cyberbeak. That motherfucker is like he's a rock star, man. He is a rock star artist. He's what made me love Jason Aaron's run on. That's not necessarily true. He wasn't the only reason that I love that run on Thor with Jason Aaron. But
Gore the God Butcher.
Oh my God! I mean, like when people ask me, like, man, I want to get back into comics again. I tell them 2 comics: Dark Knight Returns, because it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and The God Butcher by Jason Aaron, the Cyber.
Thor: God of Thunder, the first arc.
God of Thunder, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. But a Cyberbeak, and let me, like you said, there's so much going on in this book. I feel like Jason Aaron, which insert gag sound now, because I fucking love Jason Aaron. I love just about everything he fucking does. So I'm a huge fucking fanboy of Jason Aaron. No, I don't think anybody, even Jeff Johns, could have balanced and told this good a single issue story with so many moving parts. I think it was spot on perfect.
Yeah. But for me, I think the reason I love this so much, other than I really love like sort of a medley issue with a whole bunch of different artists in it, we have the return of Wolverine Classic.
Yes.
Who makes his grand debut by cooling off a beer inside a frost giant.
Oh, how awesome was that?
Which is amazing. Aaron wrote Wolverine for years in his own book and in Wolverine versus the X-Men. Not versus Wolverine and the X-Men, where he's heading up the Jean Grey school. So if anybody is going to write him again, and not the Old Man Logan flavor, Aaron's the guy to do it.
Yes.
And then teasing the return of Reed and Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four.
And Valeria.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Valeria.
Yeah, the kids are back.
Well, I mean, she's the narrator.
Yeah.
We end up finding that out at the very end. Spoiler alert. Well, Logan's back, so spoiler alert there, too. But Valeria
now there's 2
Richards is kind of the narrator of this story. Like, you don't know in the beginning, like, who the fuck is talking. And the whole time I'm trying to figure it out. Just so many moving parts. Aaron does a great job. And you were talking about really liking a medley of artists. Yeah. I do too, unless the transition is when you're a good artist, it's not that big of a deal. But like when there's I'm trying to think of what DC book they've been doing that on, and it was kind of jarring. Like, it went from Kubert to this guy, and it was like their styles were
it's just really uneven.
Yeah, just really I should be reading the story and enthralled in the art, no matter who's doing it.
Right.
And when I get to a part of or turn the page, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what happened? That's when it becomes a little, discombobulating, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. So I thought this was very good at doing that transition. And it's like I said, a cyber beak is so good. It's kind of like, me playing basketball next to Michael Jordan. You'd be like, what the fuck is that kid doing? I mean, it's not really like that. I mean, it's very seamless, I thought.
Sure. I mean, there are a couple outliers. Like, I think Chris Samnee sticks out like a sore thumb because his art is very, like, it's very old school in how it's done. I mean, I love his art.
I do too.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, when you put him in there in a mix of guys like Douderman, Immonen, Laraz, guys who draw mostly similar, I guess, even though it's all by the same colorist, which I think is also amazing.
Yes.
I
can't. His name escapes me. He's done a lot of shit.
It's Matt Wilson.
There you go. There, thank you.
Yeah.
Matt Wilson.
Yeah, I have the issue in front of me. So.
Oh, okay. Now, was McNiven did some of this, right?
McNiven. Actually, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I think he may have inked over Ribic or something because it says Jason. It's billing Jason Aaron as the writer and artist Assad Ribic with Steve McNiven.
Okay.
So I don't really know, but I haven't been too in love with his art lately. I think he needs a guy like Dexter Vines going over his pencils to really make it.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna you me solve it for you.
Yeah,
I solve it for you because I was a McNiven fan, okay, and Big Sam lets me know all the time how stupid I am because McNiven sucks, and Louisville boy Jay Leaston, okay, is the inker that usually only Steve McNiven will use. Like, you look at McNiven's good shit, it's all inked by Jay Leaston. If Jay Leaston is not working with Steve McNiven, it's not good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like, he's a Louisville boy. He lives about 5 minutes down the street. We go to the same comic book shop. Great dude. And he's been a little busy lately doing other projects. And McNiven, I think, is suffering because of that. I'll just say that.
Yeah, well, I give McNiven a lot of credit because now he's working shoulder to shoulder with a lot of guys who are doing that 3D modeling and trying to pass it off as art these days.
Right.
But to each their own. I'm not going to love every artist that's working for Marvel Comics.
That's right.
So, but yeah, Legacy, really like a very top of the heap kind of book. It's setting up all kinds of crazy stuff in other books all across Marvel's line. Every book is pretty much getting renumbered to like classic numbering, and all the numbering is pretty much wrong. But whatever, I don't really care.
Right? Yeah, don't get caught up in it. Right?
Yeah, I'm like kind of surprised at how sloppy the editing is on the numbering with this, but I mean, I appreciate the novelty.
What do you give it? What score would you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's more like I might be grading on a curve because it was definitely the best thing to come out of Marvel that week.
Absolutely.
But far from perfect, but definitely enough to really get the juices flowing, get me excited for what Marvel's pumping out, which is something I think they really, really needed. In recent years. Well, recent years. I think that's fair to say.
I gave it a 9.5.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Fucking loved it.
Big man.
I love. Like I said, I'm a big Aaron fan. Assad Ribic, however you say it. I love him. I love them two together. Like I said, I thought Aaron for a single story issue, like I could give this to somebody, even with all the moving parts, and they go, "Holy shit! What I need to know more. What is this? What is this guy doing?" And let me ask you a question because I seen this in my notes just now.
Yeah.
When did Falcon, Captain America, and Lady Thor become a thing? When did that fucking happen? I read Lady Thor, I read Mighty Thor, and I've never seen him.
He doesn't see. That's the funny thing is that I recently reread all of Aaron's Thor run. I'm pretty sure that it first happens in Wade's Avengers, which they're on together.
It had to have happened in the Avengers.
Yeah,
That's what
and
I told myself. I was like, hey,
it's also pretty confusing to me too, because I'm so sure that in Sam's book he's making out with Misty Knight sometimes.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what the deal is there.
I mean, I'm not saying if I was Sam Wilson, I wouldn't be trying to do the same shit.
Listen,
but
I wouldn't two-time Thor. I'll tell you that much.
No.
I mean, two-timing Misty Knight is one thing because she's got a crazy ass bionicle arm, but you do not want to like turn tricks on Mjolnir. All right, that ain't happening. I don't care if you do have Cap Shield.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So 8.5 or no, an 8. You gave it an 8. I gave it a 9.5. Check it out. That's a hell of a ranking from both of us. Legacy number 1. Check it out. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do a book, and then we're going to get into the new stuff. Okay.
Oh, I gotta do one more from this week.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also Jason Aaron. But you go ahead.
Last week?
Yeah, last week.
Oh, yes. I know what you're going to talk about. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's all good. That's all good for me. All right. Since we were talking about it so much, I'm going to do 2 books really quickly. And the reason I want to get this book out there is because I thought it was a money grab. And when I say money grab, because you're going to hear me say it later on today, a money grab is when a comic company either like put 2 people together from another company. It's a shit story. It's usually shit art, and they're just doing it to capitalize on the popularity of a character. Okay, and last week, Wonder Woman and Conan.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this about? And the reason I said that is because, don't get me wrong, I love when two like characters that don't ever get a chance to come together. And Gail Simone, who is she's probably done besides Greg Rucka, probably done the best job on Wonder Woman of all time. Like,
and also probably the most prolific female author in comic books, period.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And she holds her own with anybody in the business. So being a female aside, she's just a fantastic writer.
Right.
And I'm like, what 2 characters would really go together other than Conan and Wonder Woman? So I thought it was just a fantastic issue. It was not a money grab. There's a really cool story, I think, in this. Now, this is the beginning of the run, and I
one of 6.
1 of 6. Okay, I was going to say 1 of 5. Okay, 1 of 6. So I think it's a fantastic start. Conan is Conan. And you don't have to know anything about Conan, which who doesn't. But if you got this book and like, who the fuck is this guy? You're going to find out in the first 4 pages. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he does what he does, man. And you got to love it. And I haven't read a Conan comic in so long. It was very nostalgic for me. And then he sees Wonder Woman. Now, this is the question. She reminds him of somebody that he met a long time ago when he was a child. And I'm not sure that it's not the same person. And I think that's where this story is going. So did they meet somewhere in their youth is going to be like the big thing to find out. But they're going to kick ass together. Conan finds her in a gladiatorial arena. Like, she's not our Wonder Woman yet. She doesn't have the super strength. She doesn't have the ability of flight. But she's in a haze, and she even says that. Like, I'm not sure who I am. Because Conan thinks he knows. So it was to see what happens next on Conan versus Wonder Woman. All right. Looks like we lost OBS, and now...
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the video just paused on me.
Okay. It says we've reconnected, so...
Okay. Oh, we're back. We're good.
We're back. We're good. All right.
Good.
So, my next book is... oh, yeah. And I feel like I have to talk about it, and I believe you read this one, too, is Batman Murder Machine #1.
Yes.
Okay. What was your first thoughts about it, Casey?
Well, I wasn't looking forward to this one as much as I was, like, Red Death and Dawnbreaker, because it's Cyborg, and he's, like... the okayest member of the Justice League.
Right.
I mean, like, you know, what do you want me to say?
Well,
But the twist on it completely blew me away.
right.
So a perfect example of not judging a book by its cover or its mediocre Elseworlds character.
Right.
It's Alfred.
Right.
It's
Cyborg is kind of like he's just kind of a bit part. Like he's not really. I mean, he is, but it's way more Alfred than I think it is Cyborg for me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But no, I thought this is and Snyder gave kind of this look, this insight in his panel. Snyder comes from a horror background. Like he's a horror writer.
Yeah, his one of his like most prolific early works was what, American Vampire, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good at it. And like all of these, like I know Frank Terreri is the writer on this. Scott came up with the origin stories for all these characters. Right. So these guys are writing, but Scott, you know, they're Scott's creations. Sure. And this whole thing about Batman, Bruce being broken by the death of Alfred, and the lengths he goes to, like he reaches out to Cyborg, like, man, you've got to help me. And who has more daddy issues than Cyborg? Nobody.
All right. Yeah.
You know? So Batman, I'm not saying he manipulates him, but he plays on that. And then the Alfred protocols, which is actually, that's what was so cool about this for me, was the continuity. That even though it's kind of like it's not our Earth, okay, it's that one of the Dark Universe worlds, there was a lot of continuity in this, and the Alfred protocols were actually, they already exist. They already exist. But
what?
Yes, the Alpha protocols. I'm trying to look. I've got it wrote down here. Oh yeah, dude. Barbatos, and I thought it was Barbados, but it was Barbatos. He's been back since 1989. Like he's been mentioned in Arkham Asylum, Serious House on Serious Earth.
Okay. That's the Grant Morrison.
Yes. Yes.
Story. Okay.
Yes. Amadeus Arkham said he was haunted by a demon that drove him into insanity. That was Barbatos.
Okay.
And Batman's went up against him before. And like, I didn't know any of this. But like, doing my research on this, I was like, holy shit, man, it's cool. But the Alpha protocols were actually to make Bruce remember who he was. They really didn't have, it was something that Alfred implemented for Bruce in case he lost his memory. But here it's kind of something different. Like it's,
how many backup memories of Batman does he have? Like, because he's got like Zur-En-Arrh Batman and all that other wild stuff.
Hey man, when you have a contingency for everything, you got a lot of this shit laying around.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's what makes him so fucking awesome. But no, I really liked it. I thought the art I thought was really cool. It was creepy. It was a good book. I'm like you. I was kind of not like wasn't hyped for this at all. But from the ones I've read so far, this might be my favorite Dark Knight Metal.
Does that include this past week?
Oh yes.
No.
Fuck yeah.
Listen, we're gonna talk about Dawnbreaker in a hot minute, but that is far and away my favorite of all these so far.
Oh my god, I hated it.
Oh, all right. Well, here we go.
Here we go.
Conflict.
Here we
go. This is my Nightwing moment. This is me breaking free of the sidekick chains.
All right, those are my two books. Now you had a book that you wanted to bring up. And I know you're going to talk about, so fire away.
All right, so you haven't read Southern Bastards.
No.
Southern Bastards is, listen, I love Jason Aaron as much as the next guy, but a lot of stuff with him has been sort of hit and miss with me overall. Right. Like I love stuff like Scalped. You know.
Oh yeah, Scalped is fantastic.
Yeah, his Thor run I thought it had its ups and its downs. Overall, I liked it a lot. I love his Wolverine. But when somebody first told me about Southern Bastards, and they're like, "Oh, you know, it's about small town Alabama, college football, you know," but it's sort of in the vein of Scalped, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, at least with Scalped, you got something interesting. Like, there's a history to Native American culture. You know, what it's, you know, I'm experiencing something I've never really known about before, like life on a reservation and, you know, all these, like, grand criminal conspiracies and stuff that's going on. And that book's awesome. If you're listening and you haven't checked out Scalped, from beginning to end, it's just one solid, great, consistent ride. Southern Bastards is a book not only about the South, but it's also about high school football. And those are two things that, listen, I'm a guy who reads comic books in New York State. It couldn't be further from my wheelhouse.
Right, right.
But I sunk my teeth into it, and man, is it a hell of a ride. This guy, Coach Boss, he runs the high school football team, the Runnin' Rebs, and he's into organized crime. He's into, you know, trying to play an honest game, but when the tide's turning and his team's not going to make the playoffs, he plays dirty. But he runs the town. Nobody will stand up against him. He's got legitimate enterprises. And one guy named Earl Tubb returns to this town after years of being away, and he's trying to, like, inspire the town to rise up against him. Right. Does not go well. But the fallout from that completely changes the tide of everything that's going on.
Okay.
If you love Southern culture, if you like even the most peripheral of stuff related to football, this is a fantastic comic. They have recipes for fried food at the end of, like, every other issue. Okay?
That's awesome.
I mean, Aaron's from Alabama, and it's drawn entirely, except for maybe one or two fill-ins, by Jason Latour, because he's working on other stuff. Like, he's been doing,
Latour's awesome.
Latour's been doing Spider-Girl or Spider-Gwen off and on too, right?
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Look, he's an artist who's in demand, and he's got a full plate. So them doing this creative thing on the side is I'm lucky enough to have it. But they're two guys who grew up in the South, and, you know, for good or for bad, they're doing something that represents, you know, their roots.
Right.
And I think that that's awesome. But Travis, you got to read it, man.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. It's something that everybody tells me, especially because I'm such an Aaron fan. Yeah. They're like, how have you not read this shit? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's just one of those things, you know? You can't read everything.
I can't read everything. But what's fucked up is I have two of the trades in my room right now. Like, I got volume 1 and volume 2.
Y'all got no excuse.
I got no excuse. I got no fucking excuse at all, man.
Read it on the John.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Where else do you read at? I mean, shit, that's where I read fucking everything at, man. Yep. But no, I'm going to read it. It looks fantastic. And like I said, Aaron, he does, you said that, you know, he's been kind of hit or miss for you. I can only think of a few things that, you know, that just weren't even, like, everything's great to me. It's just some shit's like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. And, man, that wasn't so good. You know what I mean? Like, that
you
wasn't
read,
awesome.
I'm sure that you read, Original Sin, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Did you really like that?
No.
Yeah. There you go.
It was okay. It was okay. I love his dialogue, and I feel like he just knows these characters so well. And I always feel like he's going to do whatever character he's writing justice. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the villains. It all just seemed so studio picture.
It was crazy. It was just weird. Like Dr. Midas and the Orb, like killing the Watcher. I'm like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he wrote like Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine, which is like the craziest friggin' 6 issues of that team up you'll ever read.
Exactly.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really just I like him. Hey, he's one of my favorites. But I'm definitely going to read Southern Bastards. So give it a score. Give it a score.
The latest issue, this would be, I'm gonna give an 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
No, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 9, because you know what? It's got a guest artist. It's by Chris Brunner this time, who I believe is the son of legendary artist Frank Brunner, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I could be mistaken. Frank Brenner was a guy who did. He might draw the best Doctor Strange of all time. I'm gonna be real with you, but
Oh wow, okay.
yeah, Chris Brenner does a fill-in on this issue, and it's about Earl Tubbs' daughter, and it's part flashback, part modern, her trying to figure out the conspiracy behind what happened to her father in the small town, but everything about this is it's a done in one, which I always love.
Right.
I love me some done in ones.
Yeah, I do too.
But it's just it's a solid issue. But then I feel like a book like this you have to read from the start to really appreciate it.
Right.
On its own, though, as a single issue, fantastic.
Oh, good. I mean, to me, I like to talk a lot about those on the show because I'm trying to get people to the comic book shop, and a good single issue, like where you're not like, what the fuck is going on? Did I have to read the first 20 of these to even know what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
You don't need that. Like, good action, good art. Keep. If it was a TV show and I just happened to sit down and turn it on, keep me entertained and let me find something to hook onto and say, oh my God, I want to find out what happens to this guy. I don't even know nothing about him, but I need to know more.
Yeah. If you're looking for an issue to give you a good taste of what the entire series is about, this one will do you. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the language, the violence, the pacing of the story, the dynamics, like just how the story goes from panel to panel in sequence. Right. It's totally Aaron, and it's totally good.
Okay. Good. I'm definitely going to check it out. Checking it out. All right. You want to get into the new stuff?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What do you got first? We talking more Batman? Or are we saving it for the end?
No, let's talk Batman.
All right, let's do it. This week we got Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy and Batman Dawnbreaker, the continuation of the Dark Knight's Metal saga.
All right.
That's what I got. I think there's probably more Batman.
Oh, there's all kinds of Batman.
Oh, wait, video feed's out again. Oh, wait, no, it's back. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. What'd you think? You like
which one do you want to do first?
We'll do Dawnbreaker. We'll do Dawnbreaker.
We're doing Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker I loved. Dawnbreaker terrified the bejesus out of me, and I think it's great. You're not going to get a more definitive modern Green Lantern artist, maybe other than Ivan Reyes, with Ethan Van Sciver, who draws this issue. He did Green Lantern Rebirth back in like 2004. He did the first arc or so of Jeff Johns' New Green Lantern. He did Sinestro Corps War. So he's definitely on the money.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to Green Lantern stuff. Oh, video doesn't have me anymore, by the way. Okay. I don't know if you want to double check that while I go over this a little bit, but yeah. So this starts off on Earth -32. In the dark multiverse, where as soon as Bruce's parents are shot in the alley by Joe Chill, the Green Lantern ring floats over to him. Bruce Wayne, you have the ability to overcome great fear. As a kid, we're talking an 8-year-old boy with his parents dead in the alleyway. He manages to pour so much willpower into the ring that he completely overrides the no-kill lethal force rule. Right. Okay?
Yep.
And beyond that, he breaks the ring and taps into this thing called the Void, which is almost like the Dark Force part of, like, out of Marvel, where it's just like this big-ass shadow dimension, and he just completely vaporizes Joe Chill. Like just mulches the guy. Like, he's like barely a skeleton when he's done.
Right. Yeah.
And...
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he freaks out, and then he just kind of goes on this career rampage as Green Lantern of this universe. Like, he kills all the Bat family. Like, he pretty much throws all of his guys into space. Like, we see him, he throws Scarecrow into space, he throws the Penguin into space, he lets the Penguin get completely blitzed by meteorites in Earth's upper atmosphere. Yeah. Like, it's nuts. And... for years, like, you toy with this thing where Jim Gordon really knows who Batman is, no matter the continuity. But he never really brings it up because, he doesn't want to compromise himself or his relationship with Batman, the working thing that they have.
Right.
In this, he calls, Green Lantern Bruce Wayne out, and he immediately turns around, blasts him to bits, and is like, "It's too bad your daughter will grow up without a father." Like, it's so evil.
It is.
And then he kills the entire Green Lantern Corps.
Yes.
I mean, just back to back, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Before getting roped in with the Man Who Laughs and the rest of the, the evil Batmen. But, yeah, I just love this issue. Dawnbreaker Batman is friggin' terrifying.
What'd you give it?
I'm giving this an 8.5.
An 8.5.
I like this a lot. For me, the whole metals thing is working out because I don't know if there's anything better when it comes to Batman than Elseworlds.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll get to this when we talk about White Knight, because I want to definitely hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, I feel like if you give somebody a list of the best Batman stories of all time that aren't year one, they're basically all Elseworlds books.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's good. So, do you consider Killing Joke Elseworlds book? Just.
Well, did Killing Joke actually happen in continuity? Like, I'm not even sure anymore. I would say probably.
I feel like that's the reason it's the definitive Joker origins, because it is continuity.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, I mean I wouldn't consider that one Elseworlds, but I mean, you said yourself you'll give Dark Knight Returns to anybody who's even remotely interested in comics.
But I mean, Dark Knight Returns is considered continuity. It's just in the future.
I mean, is it? No, it can't be. There's too many things that are. Get out of here! Come on.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't mess with me.
Testing you. They've
rebooted the multiverse too many times. I don't know anymore.
Right, I know. See, I mean, we can even get
canonical
confused.
Now. Anything goes.
Let me. All right, now I'm gonna tell you what I thought about. I did a pros and cons because, like I said, I usually write reviews out more than this, but since we were kind of in a bind today, I did pros and cons. Okay. Now these are initial reactions.
Pro, Hal Jordan looks like a total fucking punk.
Pro, Faybox cover.
Yeah.
Faybox cover was fantastic.
Hell yes.
I love Jason Faybox. And if you ever heard the episode where he and I met at a con and I actually got his secret story out of him, like I busted him. Sam was there, busted him out. He didn't know what to do. It was kind of funny. But I love Faybox. I think Faybox is one of the best artists in the business, one of the rising stars.
Yeah, great.
Van Scribner's art. Again, if he is the definitive Green Lantern artist, no one draws like Green Lantern constructs like Van Scribner does. And that was a very, very cool part of this book. Is like you said, that dark, the void.
The void.
Like he was channeling the void out of the ring. It just was creepy. They're monsterish. It looks fantastic. I love the horror aspect. I love the blood and gore. It leads to the whole horror feel of all these Dark Knight, Dark World books. And the coolest thing I thought was zombie Martha and Thomas Wayne.
We love you, son.
Oh my God! I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, because like if you haven't read it yet, when he overpowers the ring and he kills I guess Joe Chill or whoever it was that killed his parents.
Yeah.
And he makes the ring, like he commands the ring to bring him back to life.
Yeah, because of course he would do that. He's an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah, he's an 8-year-old kid. He would. And they come back as like zombies, like Black Lanterns almost. So
yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, that's kind of where it falls apart for me.
Uh-oh.
I just felt like, for one thing, why to me? Like I'm like, yeah, that's you you didn't have to. I already know, so you don't have to explain it and then do it so poorly. I thought that was bad.
Yeah.
Bruce, an 8-year-old boy, as badass as Bruce Wayne is, you're not going to find a bigger Batman fan than me. Okay. 8-year-old Bruce
like
Wayne.
Literally or like metaphorically?
Both.
Because you are a pretty big.
We're going to go both ways.
Let's do it.
No, because Sam likes Batman too. So he's bigger than me. But an 8-year-old Bruce Wayne is not going to overpower one of the most powerful weapons in the DC universe.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit how distraught and tore up he is that he just seen his parents murdered. I was like, oh man, I'm like, trust me, I'm reading the comic book, so I have to suspend the belief just a little bit, but I just didn't like that. I thought it could have been told better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
It's like a quick and easy excuse.
Yeah.
To make it happen.
It was a quick and easy excuse to make it happen. Just like the whole him being a Batman. You know, and then the next scene you see him in the cape and cowl because of the falling in the cave. And, you know what I mean? Now, we know that because we're Batman fans.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know. There were things about it I liked, obviously. There were things about it I didn't. I gave it a 7, which isn't horrible. Like, I know I said earlier, I was like, oh, it's terrible. It's not horrible, but it is definitely behind
Murder Machine and Red Death.
Yeah, and Red Death. That was what I was trying to think of. Yeah, it's definitely behind those for me.
I still think Red Death is like the bar yet to be hit. I mean, in terms of like really outrageous, true to form Batman, taking the power of another hero kind of deal.
Out of these three, I agree.
This, he doesn't even really swipe it from Hal Jordan or anything. All the other ones, he kind of does steal it from the original hero.
No, and then when the lanterns show up, you're like, oh shit, it's on now.
Yep, one panel
really
done. That's it.
I mean, it's like he's way OP.
Yeah.
Even as 8-year-old Bruce, he's just OP for me. But what they're trying to do is it's a self-contained story. They have to tell this origin to get him to come into, Earth Zero DC Universe. But now I'm kind of like, holy shit, if he did this in Earth 32, what the fuck is he going to do now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is tough.
I mean, he could fight the entire Justice League by himself.
Yeah, from the way this issue went. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything you said is spot on. The horror aspect and the art and everything is just, it's really good. It is good. I mean, a 7 is not bad.
No.
Like, a 7 is still a
A 7
book.
is, you should definitely still pick this book up.
Absolutely. I mean, all the Metal books, and like you said, I was very hesitant about this whole Metal series. I thought they were going to be money grabs. I'm not going to lie. And so far, they haven't been. They've gave us some quality books for the money. All right. You want to go White Knight?
We're doing White Knight.
We're doing White Knight.
White Knight. You want to talk about maybe the best Batman thing this week? Maybe art-wise. Oh, man.
Oh, Sean Murphy is shit.
Killing it.
He's
yes.
shit.
Yeah. If you haven't been exposed to him, listener, pick up Joe the Barbarian, pick up Tokyo Ghost.
Yes. This
guy killing it on everything he does, from detail to expression to environments to just creative ideas on panel. Like,
yes.
he should have a Modern Masters book about him. I honestly believe.
I've said that before. Like, he's that good. I know I really gagged on Asar Ribic earlier. Like,
and Fabok, yeah. Look, we love a lot of artists.
Sure.
There's a lot of great guys working in the medium these days.
There really is. And what's so awesome about this is he's not only drawing it, illustrating it, he's writing this. And that's what he doesn't get credit for. What is it? Punk Rock Jesus. Read Punk Rock Jesus. That is something that he illustrated and wrote also, and it was excellent.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't, but wasn't that one of the things that really, like, what was that, like 2011, 2012?
It was comic book of the year. And like,
oh my God,
he won that one comic book of the year, and he won creator of the year for that. So it's a good book. Check that out. But no, he's doing a Batman White Knight here. What did you think?
oh man. Well, like I was saying, any Elseworld story with Batman is almost guaranteed to get me to take a look at it. I've read countless ones over the years.
Sure.
Gotham by Gaslight, Thrill Killer, the one where he's a vampire, which might actually just be called Batman Vampire.
Yeah.
But whenever you take a twist on Batman either going too far or coming back after retirement, something like that, it's just enough of a twist where the story is kind of believable. But here, it's not as much as Batman going over the edge and going too far than it is the possibility of a Joker redemption, which is huge because I haven't really seen that. Like, you see that in stuff like Earth 3
right.
or like an antimatter kind of Earth where he's been good all along. He's just some kind of goofy clown.
Right.
But, halfway through the story here, when he's recovering from Batman jamming 1,000,000 possible cure pills down his throat,
right.
which is so brutal and so vicious, like it's awesome. But, he comes back, normal skin, normalish features,
He's cured.
He's pretty much cured. Leslie Thompson gives him the full workup, although I wouldn't necessarily trust her abilities based on what we've seen in the past with stuff like Spoiler and whatnot.
Yeah, but we don't know these characters.
Right.
We're basing these characters on assumptions that
like we would
know
with
who
any
they are.
Elseworlds. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Like this Tompkins may be Dr. Fear or
can you imagine? That would be sweet.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Yeah, but this book has got, it's got pretty much everybody in it. It's got, I'm pretty sure that's Mayor Hill, because there's so many Batman the Animated Series references in here, it's out of control.
Right, it really is.
You've got Jim Gordon, you've got Bullock, you've got Montoya, your classic GCPD roundabout of people, but you've also got Batgirl, you've got Nightwing, as Nightwing.
Right.
Batman, Alfred. So it's got, all the characters you're familiar with, but the first thing that the Joker does once he's cured is he starts working on his case. Which is the kind of thing you'd see in something like Shawshank or any other,
sure.
prisoner wrongly imprisoned or what have you. But his redemption the Joker's redemption is going so far that not only is he trying to work his own case and, redeem himself in the eyes of the law and the eyes of the public, he's aiming to be the White Knight of Gotham, something, and I quote, better than the Joker and better than the Dark Knight.
Right.
It's a great splash page to end the comic with.
Oh man, it's so
and
beautiful.
I couldn't be more excited for what's to come next.
I totally agree. What a great first issue.
Yes.
I loved it. This is now, like, when I wrote these down, these, like, sometimes you read something and you marinate. It marinates on you. And I always feel like a good comic is, like, I keep thinking about it. And that's, like, my initial score. I'm looking at it. I'm not even going to tell you what it was.
Okay.
But I was like, man, fuck, I can't believe I initially gave it this score. But this is what I wrote down. The pros. I did my pros and cons thing again. Sean Murphy art. It doesn't get any better than that.
Worth it alone, even if there were no words in this comic.
That's exactly what I was about to say. If you
So
pick this
good.
up for nothing other than the fucking artwork, you got more than your money's worth. I like it that it's taken out of continuity. Like you said, we're getting a fresh look at a Joker story. I've never seen a Joker redemption story before. So that alone is also worth picking up. Let's see. Okay. Now, I love the failed comedian take with Jack Napier, which, is from the very first, the Tim Burton Batman movie.
1989 Batman.
Man, what a great reference, what a great throwback to that. And they're kind of taking the Killing Joke take on the Joker as being a failed comedian. I thought that was really cool. I dig that.
Yeah.
Now this is where my cons come in.
Okay.
But it's actually, now that I think about it, and I've marinated, it's a pro. And it's a pro from a storytelling standpoint. I feel like, this is where Okay. All great stories, a lot of times, are mirrored in our own society, in our own reality. Okay? I feel like that's exactly what Sean Murphy's doing here. Because you can't turn on the TV nowadays without seeing a police brutality case. And then you've got a video that you see this side of the video, and you're like, what the fuck was this cop thinking? And then you get the whole story, and you're like, what was the cop supposed to do? You know, I mean, how many times...
Why is he just standing there?
Why is he just standing there? I'd kick that motherfucker's ass. You know what I mean? Oh, my God, this cop got shot because he didn't use enough force to sustain this perpetrator. And now you've got Batman, who's on tape beating the dog snot out of fucking Joker.
Oh,
and he's
so brutal.
He's done all this other stuff to get to Joker. There's a chase scene where he's destroyed houses by riding on the rooftops.
Almost running over pedestrians.
Yes. He pushes a cop out of the way that was just trying to help him. And then he's on video beating the shit out of him as Joker says he's trying to turn himself in.
He's found a cure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's another kind of cool caveat to the story is they led him to this warehouse where the FDA is just getting rid of drugs. But we don't know what they do. But the Joker did, evidently. You know, it's
right,
like
because he's a chemical genius.
Yes, he's a chemical genius, and even though they're saying he's like, you know, Leslie Thompson gives him workup and he's a genius, he's testing off the charts. Joker's always been a genius. He's just been nuts, and we really haven't seen that side of him. But so I kind of felt like I get so pissed off about everybody being so fucking sensitive. Oh, you don't want to get shot by a cop? Just do what the fuck he says. You know what I mean? When he says put his hands up, put your fucking hands up. When he says stop moving, just stop fucking moving. And
especially like, when the cop, quote unquote, in question is freaking Batman.
Exactly.
I mean, you better stop.
You better fucking stop. So again, you know, I kind of was like a little irritated by this, but now that I've marinated on it, I feel like that's just a component of great story writing, where you're mirroring society and how everybody's feeling. But now, did you get this? Now, I recently watched this because I have a nephew, and it's like his favorite fucking movie. But as I was reading this story, I could not get the parallels out of my head. Lego Batman.
Yeah, I've seen it for sure.
How
you're thinking
Joker,
that whole like that quasi romantic relationship between Batman and the Joker.
You need me. That's what the Joker's here. He's like, dude, I'm giving you a chance to be the good guy here. Yeah. You know, and the Batman the whole time's like, he ain't buying it. He ain't buying it. He ain't buying it. And it was just like in Lego Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm surprised that's the one that first came to your mind rather than Dark Knight Returns, because Dark Knight Returns is the first story that gives us that whole Batman darling thing.
It is, and especially with him riding the Batmobile on top of rooftops.
Yes.
That you could tell, like Sean Murphy has taken all these movies and done something pretty amazing with it in this very first issue.
Yeah.
I won't harp on it no more. You've got to read it for yourself, because
we got to point out one page though. The page where the Joker first he wakes up in his cell, and it's covered with all the Batman memorabilia.
Yes, all the toys.
Too many references to count. There's an action figure of the Nicholson Joker. There's a poster of the scene where Batman and the Joker laugh together at the end of The Killing Joke.
Yep.
There's like 3 animated series busts. There's an animated series poster.
There's the Joker with the long gun.
Yeah,
right, from the first Batman movie.
Every Batmobile you can think of sitting on the desk, but most prominently the one from Returns, which is probably the best Batmobile.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Just so many little Easter eggs, and it's just a real testament to Murphy's attention to detail.
It is, man. I mean,
like the muted colors and everything. It's just it works so well.
The way he draws Gotham City.
Oh yeah,
it may be my favorite. Like I will have to like research that and see. But like I love it, the way he makes the buildings and the shading, his use of contrast. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, if you've gotten anything out of this show tonight, it was Sean Murphy is the
Sean
shit.
Murphy fucking rules.
Like I said, I'm not gonna say what my initial score was because I'm embarrassed of it now.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna give it a 9.
Me too.
Oh wow!
A clean 9 out of 10.
Clean 9 out of 10. Easily a 9. I might could have went more. If you asked me tomorrow, I might give it a higher score.
I mean, but you would definitely say it's the best book that you read this week.
Yes. Let me go ahead and say Blazing Defender pick of the week.
Okay.
Pick of the week. White Knight, Batman #1. What else do you have?
I got in my list. I got Astonishing X-Men. Everything else is pretty much on the Marvel side of things. I didn't actually read any of the indies this week.
Okay. You know what? I didn't either. Now that you say that.
I got Darth Vader. I got Astonishing X-Men. I got Star Wars. I got a couple of things.
Okay, let's since we both did Darth Vader, let's do Darth Vader together. And you pick a book, and then I'll pick a book, and we'll wrap it up.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Vader number 6.
Coming hot off of Vader fights the totally most badass Jedi I've ever seen
my God.
in a comic book.
In Master Infila?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something fairly close to infidel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what he was. I mean, he took the Jedi rite of passage where he, fucks off to some planet somewhere and basically trains for the day of reckoning of the Jedi.
Dude. And Vader cheated. He fucking cheated.
Well, he's a bad guy. Of course he cheated.
I know, but man, I don't know. I hope to God that dude's not dead. I hope he shows up somewhere. He's a bad motherfucker, man.
Nah, man. When
that's
Vader
not even this issue, guys. We're not even talking about this issue.
We're talking the last arc.
This has been like, I love the first Vader series. I thought it was one of my favorite titles of the year last year, 2016. This Vader series here, I think I'm going to like it more than the last series.
This was the Vader book I always wanted. The last one was fine because it was between episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And that's like an okay-ish period in Star Wars. That's like when you get cool stuff like, what used to be Splinter of the Mind's Eye and whatnot. Right. But this is the Jedi Purge. And if you've ever read any of the Dark Horse Vader books, this is where like 90% of his shit takes place.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
and
this creates the character.
Yeah, him hunting down Jedi, defeating what Order 66 missed.
Right.
It's the Vader book I've wanted my entire life.
Yeah,
as an ongoing.
If you're a Vader fan, it's the book you've waited your entire life for. That's what I tell guys. Like, I can't believe I went to see. Are you there still, Casey?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Well, I seen your mouth moving in the video, but it was just a lag, and there was no sound. I went to go see A Force Awakens, and we're all kind of having some drinks before the movie. And I'm telling these guys about, the Marvel Comics. And they're like, what is this? What's going on? Where did you read that at? What did he do? And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? You guys are these fucking crazy Star Wars fucking fans? This shit's canon, yo. This shit could be in the movie down the road.
No excuses anymore. It's like if you thought the last 2 minutes of Rogue One were the best thing you've ever seen in Star Wars, bro, you gotta read these Vader comics.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, it was a dope scene for cinema, but I'm reading this shit every month, and he's kicking fucking ass.
How often do you get to see Vader do fucking backflips off of waterfalls and shit in the movies? Never.
Right, never. Come on, man. No, this story here, Vader has his crystal, has his lightsaber, and for those that don't know, which fucking shame on yourself. But
read it. That first trade coming out probably soon.
Yes, very soon. But these Kyber crystals, they bleed. The dark side can make these sentient crystals bleed. And that's what gives the Sith lightsaber its red color, which is so cool. And they really go into depth with it here, especially this last issue. Really took it out of Vader. And that's where we pick up in here. This issue is Vader is basically convalescing.
Yeah. Just messed up in the tank.
Right.
Yeah. Getting ready to... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say is, Palpatine's like, the droids are going to fix your armor. And then even though he's in the tank, he feels Vader's anger. Like, I don't want those fucking droids fixing my armor. You get this
panel of his eyes.
Yes. And it's so cool. And let me just say this, I've been very critical of the artwork in this because I haven't liked the way the artist has drawn Vader's armor. Like, they make him very rounded, where I think Vader should be very angular and jagged. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You want to talk about stuff that's like really fucking hard to draw.
Right.
Darth Vader's armor. I mean, I don't care if you're a professional, an amateur, or whatever. Just something about the geometry of his helmet, the way that he carries himself. It's not the easiest thing in the world to draw.
No, it's not. And like I said, I feel like I've been hypercritical of this guy. But what he has done very, very well, and there's a page here where he's fighting the Inquisitor, which we'll get to that, but in the Jedi Temple, and he's already putting down, and he was like, oh man, what does he say? He said, "No one will defy me now. There's no one left." And Vader pushes him to the force, pushes him to the ground, and stands over top of him, and it's just like a black silhouette where you see the glare of Vader's eye and the red lightsaber, and he says, "Wrong."
Wrong. Oh, yeah.
So good, man.
Yes.
So he does contrast really, really well, and uses the use of black in Vader's suit really well. But let's talk about the Inquisitor, because this dude was badass.
Yeah. So the Inquisitor first showed up in the Star Wars Rebels cartoon.
Right.
And we didn't really get too much of his backstory in that show. We knew that he was very much a scholar. We later find out that he was like a previous Jedi Temple guard. But here, this is, I guess, the earliest taste of what we see of him.
Yeah, because Palpatine's promised him that he could have these secrets in the Jedi Temple.
The Jedi archives.
Yeah. That's what made him mad. That's when he got really salty with the Jedi Order, is because they were keeping certain knowledge away from certain people. And he didn't like that, which I'm not saying I would either. But that really pissed him off and kind of started to turn him toward Palpatine in the dark side.
Yeah, it was enough to put him over.
Yeah.
Not quite a full Sith, but a member of this newly founded Inquisitorius.
Yeah, the Inquisitorius. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is awesome.
Yeah.
How badass is this dude's weapon?
Yes.
I mean, besides Darth Maul, maybe the coolest Star Wars weapon we've seen.
Well, he has the Darth Maul moment in this, because he lights it up one by one in each panel. He does, left side, right side, and then he spins it.
But then it whirls. When it starts to whirl, I was like, oh, because I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's kind of a throwback to Maul. I get it. Well, not really a throwback, because this happened first. But no, it didn't. I'm sorry. That's right. That's correct. Yeah, it didn't happen first.
You're right. Trust your feelings.
Trust your feelings, young Jedi. But when it starts to spin, I was like, oh, this is fucking sweet.
Yeah. Because you think, there's no way Vader's fast enough to keep pace with this.
No way.
He's a giant, strong-ass fucking robot man, but, come on, this thing is a friggin', it's a lightsaber saw blade.
Right, exactly. And it's like, this fight, this dude is, I ain't gonna say kicking Vader's ass, but he's toe-to-toe.
He wall checks him.
Yeah, and he's like, he tells Vader, it's over, I've beat you. And then
Vader he's just he sticks his lightsaber right through the center of it and just whips it up.
Yeah.
And just completely wrecks his shit in one move.
Yeah, he says, "Now I have you, fool." And Vader goes, "You have
You have
nothing.
nothing.
I was simply testing my armor." And then the dude's like, what?" And
Bam!
Vader's fucking
Owned.
That was so awesome, man.
Yeah. And then he's just ready to fucking mulch the guy.
Oh, yeah. He getting ready to take him out, and then Palpatine intervenes.
Lord Vader, stop.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it when I read this, and I hear Palpatine's voice in my head. It's just,
That's a testament to Charles Soule's writing, man. He's killing it on this book.
Killing it. Charles Soule, man, is... I don't even want to say he's underrated because he's a superstar. I mean, he's done several good things, but it's just like this shit that he's pumping out lately is just so good. And he has their voices down. But then we find out that Palpatine basically called the dude in, and he kind of orchestrated this.
He set him up. Because it's Palpatine, and that's all that he does.
That's all that he does.
Everything's a test.
And I love when Vader goes, "If he would have beat me, would he be sitting right here beside you?"
Yeah.
And basically Palpatine's like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it didn't happen.
The better part of that is he is like, not only is he like, don't worry about it, but he goes, was there really any chance that you would have been defeated? And Vader's just like, he just would have hit him with the flat. No. Because of course.
Right, of course. Yeah. So, and then Vader looks like his next test is the last page, and we get this meek-looking old lady kind of sitting there drinking her coffee.
Yeah. Do you know who she is?
I have no idea who she is.
Originally, if I didn't read solicitations for the stuff coming up, I would have thought she would have been maybe like the Dark Woman, who was a Jedi that is almost like a sorceress, like that they fought in Legends once. It was like back in Star Wars Tales. It was awesome. But this is actually the librarian from Attack of the Clones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she was apparently spared in Order 66 for a very specific reason. I don't know what that is yet. Again, I'm just going off of like solicitations and interviews with Soule. Right. But that's who that is.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Good to know. Good, cool insight. Yeah, I mean, I seen her and I'm like, who's this? But she's obviously somebody. So very, very excited to see where this series goes. It's been so good. It's like one of the few titles when I see it on the like today. Like, I had a huge week today. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm picking books up. And I'm like, fuck, this is going to cost me an arm and leg. And then, like, Vader was down the bottom shelf, and I was still excited. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, Vader's out. You know, so, yeah, very, very excited to see Vader. All right, what was your, all right, we got one book apiece. What do you got?
Oh, man. This is tough. Well, let's give a quick mention of Punisher Platoon.
Okay.
For the fellas in the feed who may be huge ass Punisher fans.
Sure.
This was solid, but you know, I just feel like it's more of the same. It's Garth Ennis and Goran Parlov doing Punisher again. Just like
hard to beat.
It's hard to beat. It's a really great team. I mean, nobody gets the Punisher better than Garth Ennis.
Nobody.
And it's his first tour in Nam. All the other stuff we've ever seen with him in Bourne and Valley Forge, and other Punisher stories have always been the end of the war. What, you know, when he makes the deal with the mysterious voice inside him and becomes the Punisher. But this is his first tour, so it's something a little different.
Okay, well now, did you ever read the Max series about Punisher's tour? Okay, well now that was in Nam.
Yeah, but not his first tour.
Okay, yeah, I
he
can't
was apparently there for a lot longer.
Yeah, I think he was like, he might have been even a master sergeant then.
Something, but he's completely green going into this. Gotcha. He just happens to be a fucking big ass man.
Okay, yeah, is a fucking beast. Okay, is that a number one?
That's a number one.
Okay, I did not get that this week. So is it just Punisher number one?
It's Punisher the Platoon number one.
The Platoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. If I didn't spend enough money today, I guess I gotta get one more.
Yeah. Well, you know, you could always wait for the trade.
Nah.
Not you.
I can't wait. I can't wait on that.
I can't wait.
All right. What's your other book?
All right. My other book, I'm gonna go with. We'll keep it in house. I'm going with doubling down on my Charles Soule with Astonishing X-Men number 4.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yes.
Yeah, so if you've been reading
I
this,
have not read it yet. So if you would for me, for
I will be light.
related,
I will be light on the spoilers. But
yes.
you've read the past three.
Yes, I love it. It's like my favorite X-Men book since Joss Whedon did Astonishing X-Men.
Yeah, hell yeah! Oh man, talk about a good run.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
So if you haven't been reading Astonishing X-Men, people in the audience, it's Charles Soule writing the book with a team of Old Man Logan, Rogue, Gambit, Phantom X, Psylocke, Bishop, and Angel.
Yes,
I think that's right, and Mystique.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
And
she kind of tricked them. But
She pretends to be the Beast so that she can get in on this. Which is cool because her motivations are still kind of like I'm still on the fence about why she's even here.
Right.
But the main crux of the story is the Shadow King is back.
I know, it's so awesome.
Amal Farouk, that big fat ass motherfucker who can throw down with Chuck Xavier on the astral plane.
Right, right.
One of the baddest of badasses in all of comic books.
So awesome.
And he's been assaulting psychics all over the world with his return, and he might have Charles Xavier holed up in his psychic web. So the main crux of this first arc is a bunch of these X-Men are summoned together by Psylocke at a chance, and they get together and they go into the astral plane to try and stop the Shadow King first. They find out Xavier may or may not be there second, and pretty much stop the world from collapsing in on itself, because if the Shadow King comes back full time, we got problems.
Now, it's kind of like a mental chess game.
Yeah.
Like they're playing, because like Farouk in the past issues, he's been trying to manipulate the X-Men into coming over to his side, whether they know that or not.
So he can possess their bodies and wreak havoc in the real world.
Exactly.
Right.
And Charles has kind of been forwarding that as best he can.
Right.
So now my question to you is, do you think, now you may know this issue, so if it's in this issue, just, you can.
I won't say it.
But it is Charles alive, or is this some type of mental projection that Farouk has come in possession of?
We still don't know.
Okay, that's cool.
But what Charles does tell us between this issue and the last one is that he claims to be dead, and that there are other ways that he can project into this world.
Okay, got it.
So maybe there's some psychic ghost, but it's still very, nebulous.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about Charles. Because, also in the last issue, he said, at the end, that he's also looking to kill the X-Men himself.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Right.
It was so spooky and so weird, but, way cool.
Yeah, because Farouk said, or may have been Charles said, now we agree to the terms, and whoever wins, because they're playing a game,
right?
And whoever wins,
classic mental chess.
Yes, yeah. So it's such a fucking good story, man. Especially if you've been wanting a good X-Men book. This is it. Now, who did the art on this? Is it still
this? Well, no, it's changing every issue.
Oh,
so the first, I know. I don't love it. But every guy we've got has been more of an all-star kind of so far. We had Chung the first issue. We had Deodato the next.
Yeah, Deodato's was so good.
Yeah. He's really lost steam for me since he's been doing the 3D stuff, I got to tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's been more noticeable over the years. You might see it too, but
he's on Old Man Logan this week, and I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
His fight with Maestro at the end. This book Old Man Logan's been so brutal.
Killer.
It's been so good.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
We got McGinnis, my boy Ed McGinnis, the last issue.
Oh, yeah. McGinnis was good.
I love McGinnis. And this one was Carlos Pacheco.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he's good. He's changed his style up a bit in recent years, but he did Avengers Forever and a bunch of other stuff way back in the day that I really loved. He does a solid thing in this issue. We get a lot of nice character moments. There's action all spliced in between. There's really nothing too spoilery, for me to ruin anyway. Gotcha. But but just a lot of great moments. You get some Phantom X Mystique stuff. You get some Gambit Rogue stuff, which I'm glad at the way Soul is handling that, because I hate Gambit.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
With a passion. He's like my least favorite X-Man ever. Ever.
So you don't like Tatum Channing trying to resurrect the movie?
Oh no. Although I did. You know what the worst part about that is like I hear that, and then I heard a rumor the other day that they're trying to get Daniel Craig as Mr. Sinister.
Oh, I seen that. Yes.
And I'm like, oh come on, like
no.
Don't make me watch a Gambit movie. I'm not doing it.
Stop it. All right.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a solid like it's obviously in the middle of an arc. So you're not getting there's no big reveals. Right. There's no like hugely great dramatic moments. It's got some nice character stuff, and it's a good treat if you've been reading it all along.
Right.
But I'm just looking to see how the arc resolves at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for some Shadow King showdown.
Yeah, man. I'm too. I'm ready for there's going to be. I thought it might be this issue. That's the reason I was like, keep it spoiler free if you can. Because I feel like there's going to be a huge twist somewhere.
Yeah,
something that we not seeing coming, and we're going to be like, oh shit, because Charles Soule's really really good at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 7-0, right?
It's a 7-0. It's a solid issue in the middle of an arc. It's a good continuation of what's been happening. Good. It's just more good stuff, but nothing that'll knock your socks off.
Gotcha. All right, man. Last book.
The Piece de Resistance. How we end in this show.
Where the fuck did I do it? Here it is.
Where did I put it?
If I don't know if you've been reading this or not, but Batman's main title. Dude, it's been a fucking Batman day.
Dude,
there's a lot of Batman today.
All the time.
All the time. Batman 32, the conclusion of Tom King's The War of Jokes on Riddles. If you haven't been reading this, you need to. Or wait for the trade, because this is the conclusion, so the trade will be coming out soon.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
It's Tom King. It's
breathing new life into this franchise.
Dude, he really is.
Bro, that Swamp Thing team up, the Elmer Fudd Batman team up. I mean, he's a madman.
He makes it all so good, and he has a writing style that is unlike anybody else. Like, I was very apprehensive about it. I'd read Sheriff of Babylon. I'd read Vision. Which the Vision was fantastic that time.
Vision was I did not expect to like that book, and I really did.
Big Sam is the one that was like, dude, you've got to read. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking read this.
Come on, Vision's got a family. This is lame.
This is stupid. And he made it so good and creepy. Like, it was like disturbing. Some of the Vision stuff was very disturbing.
Dude, when they killed Grim Reaper.
Oh my God. Like, I was holy shit.
Yeah, everything about it.
It was so good, so good. So what Tom King has did here is I'm gonna give you this in a nutshell. And I'm just gonna give you what this story did in this issue here. War Jokes on Riddles. Riddler is at war with the Joker. Now we really don't know why, but we do find out this issue. Okay. Batman is in the early days of his Batman career. We think it's been a year, maybe a little over a year, so he's not the Batman that we know that can fucking just handle anything, that has like 8 psychosis in his head, that can handle anything, even like an amnesia attack or something. It's not that Batman yet.
He's still a little green.
He's still a little green. Still good, but still a little green. So you've got this huge war going on in Gotham. People are being killed, and he's telling this story to Catwoman. All right, he's telling Catwoman the story about something that happened in his early days because he wants her to understand him. Because, spoiler alert, he's asked her to marry him.
What?
Say what? Yeah,
come on.
A couple issues ago. Yeah, come on, Bruce. So he's telling the story because he's getting in a long-winded way something off his chest that happened in this issue. Like I said, this is the conclusion. So Batman has taken a side because he can't take on both Joker and Riddler at the same time. So he said, what way can I get them to end this war? I'll take a side. Whoever side I go to, there's no killing. And there's been a massive body count during this war. Okay? So the star here is what's so amazing. It's Kite Man.
Kite Man.
Fucking Kite Man is the star of this story.
Come on.
I swear to God.
I don't know anything about this story. You're telling Kite Man?
Kite Man. Kite Man is
green
pivotal,
costume, yellow diamond.
Rides a fucking
kite.
Loves kites, so he's riding around in a fucking kite. Yes. Right. He's on the Joker's side. Okay? And he's pivotal. He's key. That's what makes this story so amazing is Tom King has taken I don't even say he's a fucking D-lister. He's an E-lister, and he's made him relevant. Now, he was relevant up until this issue. Okay, now he's still referenced, but this issue is more Batman than any of the other issues have been. They've more been about the Riddler, about the Joker, about Kite Man. This is Batman coming full circle with this war and something that, and I'm going to keep this spoiler free, but it is something Batman does that we've never seen him do. He's never lost it like he loses it here. Now, he is stopped from making a huge character-altering decision by someone that you're like, oh my God, not him. Anybody but him. I mean, I so bad want to tell you. All right, I'm going to tell you.
Just tell me.
If you want,
you got me in suspense here. I don't even know what's happening.
Okay. Riddler killed Kite Man's son. His fucking little son kills him. Okay, because they captured Kite Man. They're wanting information. He kills him. Okay, so, all right. So then there's kind of a little understory there. But anyway, so we get to this, and we find out the Riddler's motivation of the whole war of jokes on riddles. Joker doesn't find anything funny anymore. That was a riddle to the Riddler. So what does he do? He creates this war to get Batman in their throes, and Joker still doesn't think it's funny, and the Riddler loses his shit. Now, Batman, on the other hand, is watching all this go down, and he's going, are you fucking kidding me? You caused all this death and mayhem
just to get him to laugh.
Just to get him to fucking laugh because you were trying to solve a riddle? And see, Batman was there when Riddler killed his son. Batman takes a knife off the fucking table, and you get this page of you're behind the Riddler, and Batman fucking leans out, and it looks like he stabs the Riddler right in the face. Okay?
Holy shit.
Now, this is the thing that he's telling Selina Kyle. He's like, look, I've got to tell you this. If you think that I'm still worthy of you, I'm no fucking hero, and here's why. This is what I did. And you're like the next page's a fucking ad. And you're like, I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm sitting on the shitter as I read most of my books. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not done shitting yet because I just shit again. So I turned the page. The Joker had reached out with his fucking hand and took the blade all the way in his hand and stopped Batman from stabbing the Riddler in the face. And then you know what the Riddler says? Or I'm sorry, the Joker.
What?
Now that's funny.
Oh my
And he
god.
starts cracking up.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, man. I was like, what? Yeah. So now you've got the Joker who saved Batman
From crossing that line.
From crossing the line.
The line that Batman always feared made him better than the Joker.
Exactly.
What the heck?
How awesome's that?
Dude, that's nuts.
I
gotta get this now.
I really wanted to give this the book of the week. I really did. But I feel like, I do the single issue thing, and I feel like The White Knight was just such a great first issue. People can jump on that. Here, you really needed to have read all of them. You know what I mean?
Really appreciate it.
It's still a 9.3. This book is a 9.3 all day fucking long. The art is fantastic. The dialogue's great. There has, if I'm critiquing the whole story arc, there has been some things like Deadshot and Deathstroke. They were on opposite factions. Okay, they were both trying to kill Batman. Well, they ended up both seeing each other. They warred for 3 days. Deathstroke and Deadshot did. Several innocent bystanders were killed while they were trying to kill each other. What's Batman doing? He's got his finger in his ass because he's saying that he's so early in his career, he can't take these guys out by himself. Like, I can't, I'm not that skilled. Right. Well, in the next issue, he takes them both out at the same time.
Huh.
And I'm like, wait a minute, Tom King. You just did this issue.
Yeah, don't drop that on us.
Don't drop that on me. You know what I mean? Now, I'd have to go back and make sure there wasn't some caveat or something that I missed. But, there have been some hiccups. But the overall story of this, and like I said, this is the first issue that Batman has been really kind of the main player in.
Yeah.
Because it's been about the Riddler. And he's made Riddler A-list. He made Kite Man relevant. And it's all being told to get to this issue. Kind of a
far cry from seeing the Riddler, how much of a punk he is in something like Hush, right?
Exactly. Like he's a bit player. He's a C-lister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but he's the fucking Riddler. And this book, like, it made him right there with the Joker. Like, they are nose to nose this whole story arc, and then all this happens. It was masterful. I mean, it really was. Hiccups aside, it may be one of my favorite Batman story arcs ever.
Now, does it lose points for you because of the marriage B plot in the background?
That is a con that I had. Because I feel like it's a plot device. It's a plot, and I don't like plot devices. It's a plot device because Batman needs to be telling somebody this personal, emotional story. So what better person in his life than Selina Kyle?
His future wife.
His possibly future wife, yeah. And Joker asked him, like, he asked the Joker why he did what he did. And the Joker said, what is the difference between a joke and a riddle? And Batman's like, I don't know. And he goes, when you find that out, you'll know why I did what I did. So he still doesn't know. And Selina kind of goes into, I don't want to say a soliloquy, but she goes into this thing where she's telling him the difference between jokes and riddles and what they could be. And, basically it's a long-winded way of saying, yes, I'll marry you.
Huh.
So, spoiler alert. She said yes.
Oh, okay. Well, who's going to say no to Batman?
Who's going to say no to
right?
Batman? I would say
Batman,
fucking yes.
Yeah,
I'll be
if
like,
Batman
fuck
was
yeah.
like, will you marry me? I'd be like,
yeah, man, shit. You had to ask, motherfucker, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a fucking great story. This was fantastic conclusion. Like I said, this book's a 9.3 all day. But yeah, check that out. If you're a Batman fan, you really need to read this. It's character defining. It's that good. It's character defining. So yeah, check that out, guys. It's 8:02. Casey and I have really, really talked about comic books tonight. But hey, it was the 50th episode. It was going to be giant size, and we made it giant size, brother. Thank you so much for being on the show, dude.
Oh, Travis, anytime, man. Anytime you want to do the continuing adventures of the Blazing Defender and TV's Casey, the Torch Wonder.
The Torch Wonder. I love it. I love it. That's it, man. That's your sidekick name. That's it.
Nailed it.
Tell everybody where they can find TV's Casey.
So you can find me on Twitter at TV's Casey. If you're bored and you want to shoot me a question or tell me something to read, by all means, be my guy. I do a podcast every Thursday night with the Bad Coyote Funky Bunch. We're like a 5-man wolf pack of coyotes, whatever a pack of coyotes is called. Listen, I didn't come up with the name. I'm not totally in love with the name, but it's a damn good podcast with a bunch of guys who really love all the geeky stuff you care about.
Right.
We stream live on twitch.tv/Bad Coyote Funky Thursday nights. This week we'll be on talking about the next Kingsman movie,
Nice.
which is super, super neat, and you should check it out, especially if you like the first one. But you'll hear more about it then. Also on Twitch, we do game streams off and on every night during the week. Monday nights, I do one called Stream Up Team Up with my boy Booster Greg. But other than that, that's me. That's my internet presence. Stalk me as you will.
What games do you stream? Just
we just polished off a 2-man run of Borderlands.
Oh, nice.
Which is a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of co-op stuff now. I know some of the other boys are doing Destiny, the new Destiny 2
I'm a
on their own.
Destiny fiend, brother.
Yeah. Not my bag, but
Okay.
yeah, definitely for the other guys. I mean, I can't do the massively multiplayer thing anymore. WoW completely corrupted my life.
Gotcha.
And I know if I sank my teeth into it, I'd never get out.
I know a lot of guys like that, brother. I totally understand.
Yeah. But we're gonna do a little bit of a palate cleanser. Play some Portal 2. Should
Cool.
be a bit fun next week. But yeah, feel free to chime in. And you may see me on other giant-sized team-up productions in the future.
That's right.
I've been talking with your friend and mine, the rock god of podcasting, Charles McFall, about being on Breaking the Panel, maybe on a semi-permanent basis in the future.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. But until then, until the next guest spot on the Blazing Defender Report, your favorite podcast and mine on the internet.
Awesome. But, brother, thank you so much. Guys, please check out TV's Casey, the Bad Coyote Funky podcast. I got you. Okay. I like the name. I think it's fucking cool. I think it's sketchy. But yeah, check him out. Are you on Twitter, Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah. Twitter at TV's Casey. Instagram, I think it's also TV's Casey, but that's
cool.
That's if you just want to stalk me in my personal life, going to museums. And I'm putting all my Comic-Con stuff up there this week.
That's what I was just about to say, man.
Yeah.
Follow him. Put your stuff up there so we can definitely check that out. No, I'm going to be looking forward to. And dude, we're gonna have you back on the show after you get back from Comic-Con, so to tell us all about it. We want to hear all about it, and you'll definitely be back on so we can talk more comic books, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this cast. This is one of the, I think Big Sam's the only one that's ever been on with me that we talked comic books, and we didn't talk near as long as we did tonight. So, but I enjoyed it, man. I had a good time. Guys, I hope everybody watching this had a great time. And I meant to say this earlier. It's a little late in the podcast to be saying it, but I'm going to feel bad if I don't. I just want to say, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved in the Vegas shooting. That was fucking terrible. And my heart goes out to all you people, everybody. The world is fucking crazy. I end every show like this, Casey. The world is fucking crazy right now. Find something you love. We all love this kind of stuff. Engulf yourself in it. Love it. And just treat everybody with love and respect. And be fucking careful out there, guys. Head on a fucking swivel. For TV's Casey, the Blazing Defender, Travis Jones, thank you guys so much. If you watched the show for this long, you're a fucking family. Thank you a lot, guys. Let us know what you thought. I know the OBS stream was a little shaky, but we'll have the audio up and on iTunes in a few days, so please check that out. Guys, thanks a lot. Be careful. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Let me